double F in Fendi stands for Fendi Fun or Fendi Fur, and a lot of the time I think it stands for Fendi Future. But the collection we saw today seemed to focus a lot on the past. I think that Karl Lagerfeld was drawing on the Vienna Secession, which is one of his favorite periods. It's one of mine too, because I love that combination of severity and sensuality. I looked at this show and I was thinking of the Vienna Secession.
You're totally right. There is a touch of it, even if it has nothing to do with it. And it's funny, for the Bal de la Rose in Monte Carlo in March, I made a whole set. It's the rose of the Vienna Secession. I love Vienna Secession. But in fact, you couldn't say what is it. It's the mood of it, no?
But I love the combination of severity and sensuality. That seems...
It's the story of the collection. Eh? And another story is the double shoulder. Here is a clean one, and then the sleeve is fluid here, you see. And the other one is to make the waist look modern. Normally, if you make two things like this, it look like an old 50s thing. So I did this with the cross to keep them go, and it made a completely different aspect for the waist.
It felt quite classical in a way, and also using the Roman lettering for 1925, the year that Fendi started.
Yes, it's a year of the, yes, but there's nothing Charleston in the collection. Huh? No flapper dresses. Huh? No, and you know, for fancy dresses, you have other houses. We don't have to do that.
Do you see transgression in this collection you showed today?
It depends what you understand by transgression.
Something which takes a rule and then breaks it in a very perverse and subtle way.
Fashion should do. If not, it's still standing boring. You have always to try to transgress things.
Do you feel your role right now is different? The role of a designer is different than it's been recently because of what's happening in the world, and what fashion represents now is different from what it represented 10 years ago.
Yes, but if you're in the middle of the battle, it's very different because I have to do the things. So I cannot think too much what's going on in the world. I have to do the right thing, in the right feeling, in the right transgression of the moment, but I have also to do the technical and couturier part of the job, you know. Huh? That is something you cannot only go into intellectual ideas, you have to be down to earth on the job.
But are you inspired by what happens in the news when you look around?
The minute you're not inspired anymore by what's going on in the moment and you think about the past, you better retire. Huh? No, you have to be interested in the moment, in things to come, in the evolution. If you think it was better before, then you better go home.
Are you ever fearful?
Fearful?
Yes.
I lost that feeling. I couldn't care less. I lived very well with that. Huh? Yeah. But anyway, there is not so much time left between all those collections, pre-collection, the art métier d'art. You know, it's a non-stop thing. There's a lot of things I had to let go because if you do 16 collections a year alone, because I do everything myself. Huh? I'm not an art director at all. I'm just a designer, you know. Huh?
But fashion is a kind of alchemy, it seems to me, more and more. You know, the notion of making something marvelous out of something ordinary.
And more I see that from the inside. So that's is very different. Huh? Because from the inside there is a hard, tough, what I like, job to do. I'm not there to look at it, I'm supposed to do it.
And you don't get more objective as time goes on?
I hope so. But objective with what I'm doing, because I'm never pleased with myself. I always think I could do better. I always think I'm lazy. I mean, grotesque, I know. But, you know, I cannot change me.
A monster, a beautiful monster.
Yes, thank you for the beautiful.